Hey guys, MJSK75 here, and welcome back to the final episode of the Organizing LEGO series. I believe this is going to be episode 8, and today I said I was going to do a room tour, but that's not entirely what we're doing, so let me explain what we're doing. So, I realized that after we have kind of gone through all the other stuff we've seen in this series, and I will link the series playlist below if you want to check out the other episodes, we've pretty much seen everything that I would normally do in a room tour, so I don't think there's really a need to go back and do an entire room tour because we're going to be treading a lot of ground that we've already covered in this series. So instead I thought that I would show you guys a part of my room at least that I don't think has been included in a room tour before, because at least its use in my LEGO collecting and storage is a bit newer than the most recent room tour that I have uploaded, which is a complete room tour, and I will also link that in the description if you want to go watch that. So basically we're just going to be doing a how I put LEGO in my closet tour instead, which is kind of underwhelming, but if for some reason this does not satiate your desire for a room tour, if you want a full room tour, you can go check the description and watch that video, or if you want to see the entire series before this about all the other organizing LEGO things, which also kind of takes you through a more modernized approach, or at least a newer approach that I have to all the stuff you see in the room tour. That will also be linked below, so if you want, go watch those after this video, of course. But otherwise, we're going to take a look at how I store LEGO in my closet, and probably a couple other things as well, because there's a couple things in the section of the closet we're going to be looking at. So, obviously this is going to be set storage, as you can see, because this is pretty much all sets, and I apologize for the lighting in this particular part of my room because it's not the best. But basically, I am now storing LEGO sets in my closet. You might be wondering why this is, and that's because all of my shelves are full, and I don't really want to keep putting things on my table because then I'm never going to get to work on things. So, yeah, so that's why I'm storing LEGO sets in my closet, because this is normally not something, at least before, that I would consider doing, but now I'm in a position where it makes some sense, so I'm doing it. So, as far as what's stored in here, this specific shelf, which you cannot see very well, you can kind of see a couple things peeking out there. But this is a shelf of prequel things, and it is mostly Republic vehicles, but there is the 2007 General Grievous Starfighter back there in the dark that, unfortunately, I don't think you guys can see. I do have a light. Let's test that out. Haha, you can see it. Cool. So there's the 2007 General Grievous Starfighter, and I rebuilt that because at the time of recording this video, I do not know if I'm going to be picking up the new General Grievous Starfighter that is pretty much just come out, because mostly due to the price. I do have the other one, I do have that one, and I have the 2010 one. So I rebuilt that one so that in the case that I do end up with the newer one, I can do a comparison video because I have all the sets built. So that is pretty much the only reason I rebuilt that. Also, it's kind of a neat nostalgic set. Otherwise, there are AT-APs in here. There's one of the 2019 ones and then two of the 2008 ones. And then there's a Freako bike, or Freako speeder, that is also in there. And then there's, hooray, a bit of open space for probably either AATs or 501st Battle Packs or Jedi Starfighters or something. So whatever it is that I end up picking up first from the new wave of sets, probably go here. But I don't know when that will happen, so I guess I can talk a bit about the reviews of those new sets at the end of this video, but I don't know. Moving up here to this shelf, and there's some Nerf stuff stored right there. This is non-Star Wars sets that I wanted to keep together, but I didn't want to store on my table. So you can see there's the Ultimate Batmobile. I did review that set, and it is a bit dusty, as you can see, but it's a cool set, so I will link the review of this set also in the video description if you want to see a review of that, and there's the bat signal from that. Then there's the Triceratops from the Dinosaur Fossils set, as well as this little Creator car transport set. I have reviewed all of these, so you can find them on my channel if you want. I'm only going to link the review for the Batmobile, though. So all of those have been reviewed. This set was actually right here. This set was my first review video, I believe. It was a two-parter, so that was interesting. But moving up to right about here, you can kind of get to see. I don't think I need the light so much for this one because we're not going to be able to see very far back into here. But this is more Star Wars set storage, and this is pretty much all original trilogy and sequel trilogy sets. I store the two together on shelves because I don't just one, I don't have really enough of either to justify separating them due to just the different shapes of vehicles that I have. So I don't like something like Republic and Separatist vehicles. It's like I have so many vehicles with so many different shapes that I could probably easily fill in all the different spots that are left open from sets on shelves, but with these particular sets, that's not entirely the case. I'm sure if I really tried I could, but it's just simpler to mash all the stuff together, and I don't actually end up pulling it out super often. There are occasions when I will pull some original trilogy or sequel trilogy stuff out, but it is not nearly as often as when I pull Republic and Separatist vehicles out, or other prequel related vehicles that don't technically belong to either faction. So you can see a couple sets there. I'm not going to go through all of them because there's some that I really can't even see, and I'm sure the camera won't be able to see. But a couple that you can see, and I believe I've reviewed most, if not all, of the sets on this shelf. I say most, if not all, because I've not reviewed this set here, but I believe all the other sets I have at least filmed review videos for, if they have not come out already, and those are obviously the big ones. You can see Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter from The Last Jedi, the 20th anniversary Imperial Dropship Battle Pack. Yeah, you can see back there Major Von Regg's TIE. There's some snow speeders, kind of through things you can see. Obviously the Solo TIE Fighter, which I reviewed a while ago on this channel. But really, it's just kind of miscellaneous original trilogy and sequel trilogy vehicles. And we're going to continue that trend up here on the last shelf that I have up here. And this is pretty much as high as it gets in my closet. That's the ceiling of my room. Again, same theme here. More original trilogy and sequel trilogy vehicles, but of larger varieties that don't really fit super well or don't really fit at all on this shelf down here. So again, I'm not going to go through all of them. Those are your things like your AT-M6, your Resistance Bomber, your Slave One. I believe there's a TIE Defender back there as well. And then there's the Black Ace TIE, I believe, and then another Solo TIE. I think that might actually be everything up there, so oh well, I guess. So apologies for lying about going through everything up there, but I can't actually see the thing past that, so I don't know. But really, that is what is stored in my closet as far as Lego stuff goes. I don't use my closet for parts storage because I find that that generally is not a good practice for in regards to Lego. So that's why I have all the other stuff that I store parts in. I currently do not store anything in my closet as far as parts go. I just store whole sets. And probably there is definitely room to consolidate some of the other stuff that's in my closet, either by getting rid of it or just putting it somewhere else, to free up more space for sets and, you know, mocks and things to go in here. But probably I probably eventually, if not sooner rather than later, no matter how much space I clear, I'm going to reach a point where there isn't really enough room left in my closet to keep putting new Lego sets in. And I don't know if this is going to be like a 2 months down the road thing, or a 1 year down the road thing, or like a 10 years down the road thing, if I'm even still using this closet to store Lego stuff in 10 years down the road. But eventually, I recognize I'm probably going to have to start disassembling sets into bags. I guess that's the other thing I could show you guys. I could show you guys my bagged sets, so I'm going to go over there and I'll restart the recording. Alright, so as far as bagged sets go, we're pretty much in the exact opposite corner of my room. And this is the drawer that I keep bagged sets in. It's very interesting. You can probably pick out a few things that are in there. Most of these things are prequel vehicles that aren't really faction specific necessarily, even though they, you know, obviously they align themselves in the Star Wars movies and various other things. But, you know, there's a couple vehicles in here. There's the 20th anniversary Anakin's Pod Racer. There's the Flash Speeder. I believe there's two. Yeah, there are two Naboo starfighters in there, and then there's like a bag right here of pieces that I took out of the Venator when I modified it that I just didn't sort into my collection. Because, I don't know, maybe I want to reconvert it. But, yeah, so that's kind of it. There's not a lot to this. And I don't fully disassemble the sets when I bag them, mostly just to make it easier to, you know, if I need Anakin's Pod Racer real fast, I don't want to have to go through the instructions and build the whole set, even though you can probably fit more in a space like this if you disassemble them all, which luckily I'm not at that point yet, but I'm guessing that if it gets to the point where I'm regularly bagging sets to store, it will probably get to that point. So yeah, that's kind of all for bagged set storage. I know it's kind of underwhelming, but there's really not too much going on here. And there might be a couple other bagged sets that I'm not aware of, or I've just completely forgotten about. Oh, actually, there is one more. There is the Anakin's Starfighter, the new one, because I didn't like it more than the old one. So I kept the old one on my shelf, and I bagged the new one. So that's the only other set in here, I believe. But really, that's kind of it for this video. So this has been the Organizing LEGO series, where in the supposed room tour, I show you parts of my room that I don't think we saw in the rest of the series, because a lot of the other parts of the room, maybe not explicitly we have seen, but we've seen pretty much the same idea in other previous installments of the series. So if you have not seen the whole rest of the series, and you're interested in knowing how to organize your LEGO, I highly recommend that you go watch that. The series playlist is linked in the description of this video, once again, so if you want to see that, you can. If you want to see a full room tour from, I believe 2018 was the last time I did a full room tour, you also can, because that is linked in the description below as well. And also, if you want to see me review the Ultimate Batmobile, that video is linked in the description as well. So that's going to do it for the Organizing LEGO series. Unless somebody asks a really good question in the comments section of one of the videos, this will probably be the last episode. I'm planning on giving it a week. So if there are any questions, and it has been less than a week since this video has gone up, if you have any burning questions about anything I've covered in this series, ask them on any of the videos. They are all not marked as made for kids, because that is how they should be marked. Technically, that's how all the videos on this channel should be marked, but that seems reasonable. So ask away if you want to, and if there's any particularly good questions that need a full in-video kind of response before the next Wednesday when this video came up, then I will make another episode of the Organizing LEGO series based on that. And if there aren't, then this will be the last episode of the series, and you'll know because this is when the playlist ends if you're watching it through the playlist. So the one last thing I said I would talk about, and I know I'm dating this video a bit when I do this, is reviewing the new LEGO sets that are coming out as far as the Star Wars ones go. And as far as that goes, the two sets that I'm most interested in are the 501st Battle Pack and the AAT, and both of those are pretty hard to get in the United States right now, so I have not gotten any. I will film a review when I get them. And also the other set that is not as nearly as hard to come by that I'm interested in is the Anakin's Jedi Interceptor set. But I'm really holding off on that until I can kind of order that, as well as, 501st Battle Pack and AAT maybe in one order, because they're pretty much back ordered right now, so there's not really a whole lot I can do. So due to the crazy times we live in factory shutdowns, those sets are kind of a bit behind as far as I believe production would go, as per usual, and they're kind of hard to get a hold of right now. So I have not forgotten about them. I do want to get them in my hands and review them, but unfortunately that is not the world we live in right now. So it will be a bit, and I will review them when I get them and have the opportunity to do so. So both of those things obviously have to happen in order for reviews to come out. But that is currently the plan, is that those videos will get made and uploaded when I have those sets. But currently I do not have those sets, so those videos will not be coming out just yet. So if you're interested in those, stay tuned. I'm sure that hopefully by the end of the year we'll have those out. But otherwise, this will be the end of this episode of the Organizing LEGO series. Next time, any burning questions that might be had within the week of this video going up, if there are any, I will be making a video responding to them, hopefully with some clear answers. And if there aren't any, then thanks for coming along for the ride. If you've watched the whole series, thanks for watching. And if you haven't, you can watch the whole series because the playlist is down below. So that's going to do it for this video. Thanks everybody so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.